Good Tuesday morning, YouTube family. Have me some water there. I am here for a vivid vision, and it is about Sister Sharon, motivated to win. This is about you, ma'am. This is about you. And before I go into the vision, I've watched a few of your videos.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I've been laughing. I've been laughing ever since I found this video. You know, I'm a kind of silly person. I mean, I'm serious, but I can be silly sometimes. And man, if I find something that's funny, I'll be laughing for days. Oh, please forgive me, because I'm about to mess my I'm about to mess my video with all this laughing. I'm so sorry. So I ran across this guy, and he doesn't call himself a prophet, but he speaks to me from an office of the prophet, from the office of the prophet. Okay. So he's prophesizing to Sister Sharon. And so we're going to get into this. And I'm just going to let him speak. I'm not going to interrupt unless I have to. And I hope that I can keep from laughing.
I watch.
Here we go.
Y'all go out into the community. Y'all go out to encourage one another and serve. It has a lot to do with the community. And I have seen a few of your videos, even with the army suit on and the army hat. You bring up a lot of good points, and you talk about a lot of important things. And yes, I honestly think you do a fine job at what you're doing. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not here to talk about that. And I know I don't know, only you and God know what you do behind the scenes. But I just wanted to read the vision to you. And when I was driving my car, unexpectedly, I saw you in a vision, and you were standing in line to be judged because your name was called. You are Sister Sharon Johnson. And you were kneeled before the throne. That's because every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. Okay. Second Philippians 9-10. You, man, were overconfident, like a lot of people will be, as you were standing in your judgment. And for someone that says they met Jesus, as you said, and knows them for over 30 years, because you made the statement once about makeup, and that's part of this vision too, that it's not written anywhere in the Bible. Well, you're wrong. It is written. It's written 79 times in the Bible. There's different scriptures on it about makeup. Try Isaiah 45:9-10. Try Jeremiah 4:30. And I believe that's either 1st or 2nd Kings 9:30 as well, where it talks about it. And there's many other scriptures that are talking about makeup. So that you're wrong. You're wrong about that. There is several scriptures talking about not wearing makeup. Face polish of the face. It talks about that. It talks about that. You got the same Bible anybody else does. I don't see how you're missing that. But that's another story, and that's between you and the Lord. I know a particular event that you had where you and the ladies did something back in Atlanta. Y'all probably had a zillion events going on. in different places across the world. That's good. But in this vision, you didn't make it. You didn't make it because the Lord brought up where you didn't believe makeup was a sin. Makeup was a sin. You know, the arguments and all of that. As you stated, it's not written anywhere in the Bible. Well, you're wrong. It is in other scriptures. I gave you 3 scriptures. Oh, in Proverbs 31 and 30 as well. It's written. That too. You were being judged, and you were being judged. That was brought up. That was brought up. And he says you do follow him. The Lord did say you are following him, but you don't follow him fully. You don't follow him completely. So, I think that was something too. You were also being judged too, based on this vision. I was actually kind of shocked. To see that. But when you said, I've even heard you say that you don't believe makeup is a sin, and it's not written anywhere. Well, it is, and you're wrong. So, with that being said, you were being judged, all good, all bad, what you did good, what you did bad, even some other things that you could have done better, that as well too. And when he said that you don't follow him fully, I did ask the Lord that in detail, and he told me, and I can see that. I think when you mentioned that you used to be a hairstylist and how you are trimming and cutting your hair and you're straightening it, and you're like straightening it. Well, straightening hair is not allowed in the kingdom, and the trimming it, the Lord doesn't want his daughters of Zion trimming their hair. Yeah, it makes healthy hair in the world. It makes the hair looks a lot more petite here in the world, but he doesn't want his daughters trimming their hair. And I noticed that you have done that in your appearance. Again, please seek the Lord, and this is just a message and a warning to you from him. So I can see what he meant by that, about the whole cutting and trimming the hair, and then the whole makeup. But you stated that you didn't believe that it was in the Bible, and it is. So that as well too. And you were overconfident in this judgment. Like, I'm gonna make it. You didn't.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna cut it very short. You didn't. You didn't make it because of the makeup, the altering your appearance of your hair, and then the fact that you're not following him fully. Again, that's something that you can talk to him about directly. This isn't like the shame or bash you to make you look bad, but somebody that's of integrity and someone who is of the Lord and that's truly following him is going to tell you this. Now, how you perceive this and how you take it is up to you. I don't care how you take it, but this is really to help you to not make it to hell, because as you stated in your videos as well too, eternity is too long to be wrong. Yes, it is. It is. And that's why this is for you. Now, I hope this finds you well. And I'm going to just give you a couple of scriptures. Hebrews 9:27, where it talks about it is a warning for men to die. Everybody's going to pass in the world that's still alive right now. Everybody that says, Lord, Lord, Matthew 7:21, will not enter the kingdom. All abominable, murderers, idolaters, You know that. You know that, man. When I also inherit heaven. Anyone not written in the book of life is not going to inherit heaven. It's going to inherit the lake of fire. When I asked him this, when I did, he said, "You're not in the book of life." So this is all for you. Seek the Lord. Seek the Lord. Seek the Lord. This is for you to seek the Lord. Other than that, I don't have anything else but that you didn't make it in the vision. You didn't believe makeup was a sin. You were overconfident. You found out differently. Makeup is a sin. The Lord does not want his daughters, Yah does not want his daughters wearing makeup, nor trimming their hair and straightening it. I used to work in both salons myself before I got reborn again at a relatively early age. And one thing about hair salons and barbershops, they're there to alter the image of hair, not to leave it the same. So if you're in there with long frizzy hair or long kinky hair or whatever hair type you have, they're there to alter that. You shouldn't. I believe you know that yourself as somebody that was a hairstylist. So seek the Lord. It was the trimming of your hair. You kept altering your appearance of your hair, and then you didn't believe makeup was a sin, which it is. So seek the Lord, Sister Sharon. This is not to bash you in any way. This is not to beat you down in any way at all, but this is for you. This is for you. Seek the Lord of everything I'm telling you. Okay, be blessed. In your appearance. Again, please seek the Lord.
Okay, okay. So, wow. I was just so mixed, ladies and gentlemen. I was just so mixed when I heard this. I found this video, and all I could think about was how Motivating You to Win, she is constantly cherry picking all the different sins that a person can commit that will lead them into the lake of fire. So here's this guy. I hope, the audio wasn't that great, but I hope everybody was able to understand what he was saying. Basically, it was gloom and doom for Sister Sharon. And his last reply to her was to seek the Lord. So he basically was telling her that you're not going to make it, sis. Now, who is this guy? I don't know, but he sets himself up as a prophet that had a vision from God. Right? Only prophets have visions, right? In that regard. It was just, at first I laughed and laughed and laughed. I couldn't stop laughing. And then I thought about, but when you try to cherry pick and bring condemnation on others, bring the law upon others, rules, there's somebody out there that has a rule for you that's cherry picking your sins. And this is exactly what happened. Is it enough to be worried about? I mean, I don't know anything about this guy, so I don't know that I would be concerned about this prophecy if I were Sister Sharon. But to me, what I got out of this whole thing was, when you try to cherry pick another person's sin, there's going to be somebody else out there that's going to come back and cherry pick your sins. So what goes around comes around. Whether this guy was legit or not, it's just the idea how he found a sin that she never mentioned in any of her cherry picking of sins. She never mentioned this particular sin that he saw as sin. And then he goes on with this vision. Okay, if that's his vision, that's his vision. But I'll tell you this. It did not come from God. But this is what happens when you practice the law. When you are under the bondage of the law, these are the results. Sharon is under the bondage of the law. And that's why she cherry picks sins and she talks about them as if they're not covered. And here, this guy, he had a word for you, motivating you to win. Now, what are you going to do with that? He said you didn't make it because of the issue of hair, trimming hair, because of makeup wearing. See, none of that makes sense. It's all nonsense. God does not care about how much makeup a person wears, a woman wears, but she has to know the reason why she's wearing her makeup the way she's wearing it. It becomes a heart issue. You know, it's one thing to put on makeup modestly just to enhance your looks, but then there's another thing to, it's another thing to, you know, put it on to seduce, like Jezebel did. She wore her makeup to seduce. And like I said, I found this video very amusing and very amusing. So I hope that motivating you to win, perhaps this may be an educational time for her to just know that somebody out here is looking at you too, lady. They're looking at you. They're looking at your sins. And you never thought about what he's talking about, the different sins he has mentioned. You never even thought about it. But you were so busy looking at other people's sin. So, yeah, with that being said, I hope that you find this video amusing and actually alarming that somebody else had a sin that you did not even mention because you thought you were okay. But somebody else was looking at you, and according to him, you're not okay. And that you are going to, what did he say? She didn't make it. Now, the truth, to me, the truth that I got out of that very statement that he made, I think it had an element of truth in it. I think it had an element of truth because he was saying that she didn't make it. But, okay, we know that what he's talking about is neither here nor there. It has nothing to do with our salvation. But I think another way I would look at it is, well, she may not make it because, I would say because of her false teachings on salvation. That the fact that she has not arrived at the place where she can say that salvation is free. It is free because of grace. Salvation is free. It's the free gift of God. I think that would probably be more, in my eyes, the reason why she would not make it if she doesn't make it. But I can't speak on that because I don't know if she's saved or not. That's between her and God. But the reason that this guy gave, no, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But there is a reason if she doesn't make it. There is a reason. And I believe that the reason is because of her doctrines that on salvation. That, to me, would be the reason why she would not make it. If she really doesn't believe in the grace gospel, and that's the only gospel that we are saved by today, that would be the only reason why she would not make it. But this guy here, yeah, this was just a funny video. I'm sorry, y'all. It was just a funny video. When I first saw it, I'm telling you, I could not stop laughing. But be that as it may, I'm going to go ahead and end this session again. And it's just something to think about. And I hope that Motivating You to Win will think about it as well. She has a lot to think about. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for tuning in once again. God bless you. And stay tuned.